Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we are doing a video called Things I Want to See in F1 24 and Future F1 Games. But before I do get started, I thank you for the amount of support in my most recent video, Euro 2024 predictions. It is currently, as of most recent check, on 220 something views and continuing to climb, and there's 9 comments, so thank you for all the people who commented on my last video. But for the 220 plus people that viewed my video, 100% of those people who were watching were not subscribed, and if those 220 people were to subscribe, it's completely for free and it really helps the channel out. We would be on a number of something like 280 subscribers, so please click the subscribe button. It really helps support the channel. And if it seems to me that you're enjoying the content that I'm making, I will make similar videos to that, and maybe predicting some other things, like predicting the F1 the upcoming F1 season, the drivers and constructors championships, for example. And some more upcoming videos coming up very soon. I'm going to be showcasing my Sidemen collection and showing my full Prime collection. So if that's something you want to see, click the like button and subscribe so you don't miss any of that. Anyway, so the most recent leaks that we've seen of F1 24 is the fact that it's going to be released extremely early. Like, people who are who have secret information have said that we may see the game come out as early as the 31st of May, which is the earliest we've seen a game ever. Which could mean there are some drastic changes that are coming to the game for the fact that it's coming out so early. Maybe it's like a big development thing that's going on. And how we know this is the very early release of the 2024 McLaren livery in the F1 game. And as we saw in F1 22, with the Alfa Romeo livery, the Alfa Romeo 2023 livery, the developers of Codemasters put the FOM My Team car for next year's game in the game as that 2023 Alfa Romeo car. So the McLaren livery Formula 1 car, 2024 McLaren liveried car that you see in the F1 23 is going to be the FOM My Team chassis for the next game. So that's pretty interesting to see, and there is different side pod, different wing setup, different engine mounting cover shape as well, so it'll be interesting to see. But in this video, more specifically, I'm going to be talking about what I want to see in future F1 games and in F1 24. It may be a bit too late now for Codemasters to put these things in the game, but maybe for future games, could be something to take into account. I will put the timestamps down below so you can skip to things you're interested in, as I know the viewer retention of these videos are not as high as they should be. So I will put the timestamps down below so that you can skip to the bits that you are more interested in. So the first thing that I want to discuss is, and I have notes on my phone, is full character customization. And for any of you people who play FIFA, you will know that when you load into a career mode, you can do a manager career mode or a player career mode. And if you do a player career mode, you can create your pro, so give them your own hairstyle, their own facial features, eye colour, different mouths, different noses, different ears, etc., different skin colour. And really, as EA are now part of F1, they should really implement that into the F1 game. I think it is now time that they move away from the default avatars that they give us at the start of the game, and instead let us have the creativity in allowing us to create our own pros to try and make us look more realistic to ourselves when driving the cars, etc. And along with that as well, and this is something that I was really interested in, along with character customization, is we have our own in-game stats as well as the normal drivers do. So the stats in the F1 game are experience, awareness, racecraft, pace, and focus. And each driver has different stats depending on how good of a driver, how experienced, how good they are. So the higher rated drivers will have the higher rated stats than maybe the F2 drivers and the drivers like Kevin Magnussen and in the lower rated teams. And this doesn't have to be a major thing. This doesn't have to be a whole separate UI in the game. However, I would like to see it. So, for example, if for a player to get their own stats, if they choose to create their own character, they should do 4 different driving events in order to get those stats. So, for experience, you have to do maybe 3 laps around a specific circuit, and your experience rating is based on how consistent you are around the circuit, for example. Or the awareness is where you have to pass, is like an elimination where you have to pass 20 cars in a certain amount of time without collisions or without running wide, etc. That's your awareness stat. Racecraft is how many overtakes you can do in a certain amount of time. And then obviously with the pace is a 1-lap thing. You've got to beat a target time, and however close you get to that is your pace stats. And those stats, like the updates do in the patches, the stats will continue to upgrade if you complete certain objectives throughout the season. So let's say I started off with 75 experience, for example, or 80 racecraft. And the objective in the first season, an additional sponsor goal for that is if you overtake 15 drivers in the next 2 races, you get +2 racecraft or +2 experience. And that, I think, will get the player base from FIFA over to F1, which means the player base grows even more. And I just think this will allow players to be a bit more creative in what they do and bring a bit more excitement into the game, because the game has been a bit sort of samey for the past couple of years. At least that's what I think anyway. On to the next thing, customizable race calendars. We had something like this in F1 2010 back in the day, where you, in Grand Prix mode, you could choose and customize your entire calendar. So you could start at Abu Dhabi and end in Bahrain, and just mix match the races around. I know you can do this in Grand Prix mode in this current game. However, you cannot do it in My Team, and this is meant to be my and this is good. I want this to be My Team specific. Why can't they just implement that code into the My Team career mode? Maybe every player has to start with the original calendar in the first season, but then, like they do when they allow you access to Portimao and Paul Ricard in the second season of My Team, why don't they give us the ability to customize our own calendars? Because at the moment, YouTubers and creators like Arava, they have to use mods to customize their calendars and make it more exciting for the people who watch their content. Moving on to My Team career mode, which is the biggest thing that's happened with the F1 game, apart from F1 World, which I'll come on to a bit later. My Team career mode should be completely scrubbed and reset. It should have a completely new setup. My Team career mode has been the exact same for the past couple games now, and it's just getting repetitive, a bit boring, and I don't play My Team career mode much anymore. I do the My Driver career mode where we pick a current F1 team, and I also play kart career mode with my friends online, but I don't really do My Team anymore just because I've lost the enthusiasm for it. So a few things that I picked out for My Team Career Mode is they could have a bit more creativity with the liveries. So a little bit like F1 Mobile, if you've played that game, where you are allowed to put different shapes of livery, different colours, put custom sponsors on there, etc. And I just think this would be a little bit more interesting to have a bit more variation of liveries. The default liveries that they give you are pretty good. Like, some of them are okay, but obviously you have to sometimes unlock them through the pit pass, which just takes a long time, and you have to grind on the game to be able to unlock them. And then the second thing, which seems to pop up in every YouTube video that I watch on F1 things to improve, and which is actually a pretty good idea, and they should implement this in context with the 2026 season, which is coming up in the next couple of years, of real life F1, is we should be able to create our own engine suppliers. Maybe, again, not something that we see in the first season, but we have to use the stock Red Bull, Ferrari, Mercedes or Renault powertrains. Maybe we still have to use those in the first season, but create our own engine suppliers in run with the real life season. Obviously this might be a little bit more difficult to code, but if they start working on this in tandem with the 2026 season in the next 2 years, it could be something that really revolutionises the game as a whole and brings some new insight into the game, where players will have to manage the difference between reliability and performance, and lightness and things like that. And on the subject of lightness and aerodynamics, the ability to, I know this is very, very similar to F1 Manager, but the ability to not necessarily design, but have the ability to choose different shapes of front wings and rear wings, for example, to make our cars look slightly different to the F1 cars in the standard game that the AI drives. I just think these are all things that could be implemented for the game. Now, onto the F1 game in general, and racing in general. In the instance that maybe people play with simulation damage on and you crash out and you retire, in the current games, you just get a black screen and then it sims to the end of the race and you get the results, you see the standings. Why not have a thing where it says you've retired, end session, but instead have another thing which says spectate rest of the race, and it puts you into the highlight feed and you get to watch the rest of the race like you're watching a real life F1 race. Again, taking this idea from F1 Manager, where if you've retired you still get to spectate and watch the race, which is still very, very cool. Because we're F1 fans, we still want to watch action take place, even though we're not actually taking part. We still want to see a lot of the action and see where our rivals are doing out on track, rather than just seeing the standings as just on paper. Maybe this is something that they could implement into the game as well. For co-op and multiplayer modes, maybe potentially the co-op and multiplayer modes are fine. Like, it's okay, I have nothing wrong with them. However, they maybe, because we have co-op career mode, like normal career mode for the F1 game, but maybe implement a co-op My Team career mode, where you and your online buddy get to design a team together, and you have to choose which engine supplier you want, and you create a team together, and it be a co-op career mode, but through your own team. And I think that would be really exciting as well, because it means the online player base will grow, and it means people could get more experience on working together as a team, and that in that certain sector as well. And finally, we come on to the most disappointing thing of the F1 game, which is F1 World. I think they should just get rid of it. F1 Life was appalling. It was just furniture and lampshades, which has nothing to do with F1 whatsoever. So instead, what they should do is just get rid of F1 World and just create a brand new UI, get a home screen menu for the F1 game, and put the online racing event in a separate HUD in a different part of the menu. I don't think we need any use of F1 World, but do comment down below if you think F1 World is useful, because all I see F1 World for is just pointless like notifications of, oh, you've unlocked a sticker for your scrapbook and you've unlocked these achievements. But yes, and you have to go into the F1 World menu to access the time trials and the multiplayer events. It's just a bit silly in my book, really. But yeah, that is all of my things that I want to see in the F1 game. Let me know in the comments down below what you want to see in the F1 games coming up. And again, thank you so much for all the support so far. 68 subscribers strong. Didn't think I'd be getting to that point anyway. I am a small creator and I only film on my camera on my laptop, and the audio is coming through my laptop. But thank you all so much. And my next video will be a review of all the F1 liveries. See you in the next video. Bye bye.